Mistress Ujitsky, this is your grandson?
Yes, he was.
Well, he still is your grandson. You may be angry at him, I assume. So, if you filed a lawsuit against him, I assume he's done things to make you very angry. But your lawsuit complains of really two things. The first thing is that you made a loan to him so he could buy a motorcycle. Is that right?
No, it was put on my credit card.
How did that come about that you went with him to the store?
I went with him to the store because he was crying to me that he had no way of getting to work. He has the girl that he lives with. Plus, he's got 2 babies, and I felt sorry for the babies because half the time they weren't eating. There was no food.
Were you living with him at the time?
At that time, I had come from San Jose because I was so cold up there that I was staying there. And it wasn't going to be a permanent thing. It was just going to be temporary. I was staying with them at that time.
These are your 2 children, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
And how old are your children now?
They're 4 and 2.
Are you married to their mother?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
Good question, uh-huh.
Why not? Good question. Ha ha. Well, I know it's a good question. That's why I asked you, why aren't you married to their mother?
Just hasn't got around to it yet, financial reasons.
You live together.
Yes, ma'am.
She collect welfare.
No.
The children collect welfare.
No. The children collect welfare.
You sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Any support from the state?
No.
So why don't you get married?
Financial reasons.
What financial reason? What's the difference if you're living together? I'm just curious, Miss Uditsky. Just give me a moment, please. I'm always trying to get information, see what this world is like now.
'Cause we've decided not to yet, Your Honor.
Because we've decided not to yet. Your Honor, why you made 2 babies? You can have 2 babies and not be married.
No, none whatsoever.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, everybody does that these days? All right, that doesn't make it right.
'Cause we've decided not to yet, Your Honor. We just didn't. We have not decided to get married.
What kind of work do you do?
Right now, I don't do any work. I watch my kids all day.
And your girlfriend, where does she work now? What kind of work does she do?
Accounts receivable on a computer.
And who supports the family?
Well, I do part way, like through bowling tournaments, and she does through working. I'm a bowler.
You do bowling tournaments? I'm not going to get to the jewelry yet, because you also say that you believe that your grandson stole jewelry from you. Did you? You mean your husband and your grandson, right?
He did his jewelry for my husband, and my husband bought me. I have proof. My daughter's here. She would tell you the jewelry that my husband bought for me. And I swore up and down that if this ring had disappeared, he would be dead, and I would be in jail. Because this is the last thing that my husband gave me. Now, they made their bar mitzvah together, him at 13, my husband at 70. They had a 3-day affair. My husband's 2 wishes in life were to make apartments for which he couldn't make when he was younger, and to go to homeland. After the bar mitzvah, I sent them to Israel 15 days. I couldn't go because I'm handicapped. I sent him there for 15 days. The first thing out of my husband's mouth when he came home is, "Mama, now if God wants me, he can have me." He says I've gotten the wishes I wanted. That was all of 1985. December 1st, 1985, my husband passed away. This is the last ring. And my husband bought me loads of gold. She'll tell you he was always buying me beautiful things 48 years. I love that man. There's not another man in the world for me. When I broke my hip and was in the hospital for 3 weeks, this boy stayed in my bedroom. I stole money from my drawers and purse. Another woman will testify to what was missing. She knows that he slept in my room and had access to everything. I never hid money. I kept it at home because the kids would come and say, "Bobby, I'm hungry," and I always helped them.
Has your son been in trouble during his teenage years?
Yes, she grandmother would have to testify because when he was a baby, I had personal problems. My parents, his grandparents, took custody of him. He didn't live with me until he was 16. Until then, my mother and father raised him.
Here's what's happening. Your grandmother is angry and hurt. That's why I let her tell me the whole story. She needed to let it out. It seems like she took on the responsibility of raising you when your mother couldn't. It probably wasn't something she planned or wanted to do, but she took it on out of duty. And what she's saying is, you haven't treated her right. Parents are supposed to raise their kids, not grandparents. When grandparents have to raise their grandchildren, it's usually because the parents failed in some way. And when you're 75 years old, you expect to have some peace in your life. Why didn't you return the money for the motorcycle?
In my understanding, it was a birthday present. I was looking through a motorcycle magazine and planned to go see a motorcycle with my friend AJ. I called AG and then she grandmother said, "Why don't you have AG take me? I'll put it on my credit card and this will be your early birthday present." This was just before my 25th birthday. I thought I could use the motorcycle to go to work and back.
If it was really a birthday present, then why is your grandmother suing you to get the money back? She seems fully mentally capable.
That's not true, Your Honor. She's not always mentally capable. After her operation, my girlfriend and I were smoking marijuana in her hospital room. The doctors gave her Demerol, and it caused her to lose her mind for a while.
When a person takes Demerol, they can experience confusion or fantasy, but it's temporary. But when she took you to buy the motorcycle on her credit card, she was not on Demerol. You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand that.
He stayed in my room when I was in the hospital and stole money. I also paid for his motorcycle, which he hasn't repaid.
I thought the motorcycle was a birthday gift. My grandmother sometimes isn't mentally well.
Your grandmother raised you when your mother couldn't. Now you've wronged her. She wasn't on medication when she paid for the motorcycle, so you owe her that money. Why do you think your grandmother IT, who raised you, cleaned your diapers, cared for you when you were sick at night, helped with your homework, paid for your Israel trip, when you were 13, Arce is now suing you over something you claim was a gift? Can you explain that?
I can't explain it.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense, does it? No. Let's talk about the jewelry. Do you know anything about this jewelry?
I don't know anything. I don't even know what jewelry she's talking about.
Mistress Uditsky, grandmother, and that's enough for now. I assume you're going to tell me that your grandson had access to your room while you were in the hospital. Is that right?
Yes.
So he had the opportunity to steal the jewelry. Whether he actually did or not is the question. But he wasn't the only person in the house, correct?
Right.
Who else was in the house?
His girlfriend, her 2 babies, and Diane's father.
Diane's father worked all day, but it doesn't take long for someone to go into a room and take something. Mistress Uditsky, the jewelry you're talking about, I see things from your husband, I see. They're precious to you, very precious. But in court, no matter how precious they are, you still have to prove to me that he stole them. Even if I gave you money for them, it wouldn't replace their sentimental value. I personally have no doubt that your grandson is lying. I have no doubt that he asked you to put the motorcycle on your credit card. His story about it being a gift and blaming your medication, Demerol, is nonsense. You are hurt and angry, but you still have your mental clarity. But for the jewelry claim, you must prove it.
He did take my jewelry.
I know that's what you believe, but he denies it. He probably did it, but I need proof in court. What jewelry is missing?
Take my jewelry, time of rubies, a Star of David ring, another ring that belonged to my great-grandmother, which I had restored. Most of my jewelry was religious IEC gifts from my husband. I converted to Judaism 48 years ago and lived that life.
How many grandchildren do you have?
I don't have an even. Actually, yes, I do.
You have a daughter here. Do you have other children?
I have one child in San Jose.
Does your daughter in San Jose have children?
Yes, she does.
So that makes them your grandchildren, right?
Yes, but she's my stepdaughter, S.A. She was my husband's daughter.
Do you have any biological children besides the daughter here?
She's adopted.
Okay, so this woman is your granddaughter, not your daughter.